Hi there, I'm Matthea Schumpelt and I am here to show you some of the modifications that I provide during my classes, such as beginners and yoga burn. So if you're looking at some of these classes and wondering, what do you mean by modifications and can I actually do them? I'm here just to demonstrate 3 of the typical poses that we do in a lot of my classes. So the first one is the lunge position, second is plank, third is downward facing dog. So come join me on the mat or just take a look. So coming into high lunge, I'm going to step back and sink my hips down, making sure my knee is on top of the ankle. I'm going to come on up nice and tall and sink down a little bit lower so we gradually move this top leg horizontal towards the floor. Now at any point you feel like this is too much, your option is to bring your knee down. See, it's nice and easy. You can modify it like this at any point. And if we come into a power lunge, where we kick things up a little, heat things up through the leg, bring the torso over, you're really going to feel the heat building up in your front thigh. Now to modify, you bring your knee down, do the same thing. We're going to bring our hands behind and bring our chest forward. You're going to feel the same kind of work happening in the quads and also in the glutes. So that's your high lunge options. Your second option, your second move here is for downward dog. Downward dog typically looks like this. We plant our hands down, our toes are curled under, and we lift the hips up. And then we swing the head between the biceps until we're into kind of an upside down V. So for a lot of people, this is a difficult pose because it does require shoulder strength. Your option is to come down to tabletop. And if you want to work out a little bit more, you can lift your knees up. Practice lifting the knees up off the floor a couple inches. Maybe stay and hover. Maybe put it back down. Maybe bend your knees and try to come into a downward dog and come back down. You don't have to stay in downward dog the whole time. So that's a modification option. Another variation of downward dog we do is called tripod or 3-legged dog, which looks like downward dog, but with your tail up. Okay, so you've got your leg up like this. So for a lot of people, this is quite challenging. And you may not want to get right into downward 3-legged dog. So your other option is to come into tabletop. Bring your hands and knees down on the floor and kick your leg back. This is perfectly acceptable as an option as you build your strength gradually and naturally and work your way up into downward dog with a 3-legged raised leg. So the third pose that I'll show for modification is called the plank. So typically we come into plank with our hands right underneath the shoulders, lift one leg and then the other, and try to keep our entire body in one line, using your core muscles, hands and shoulders, quads, and glutes. So the option to modify here is just to bring your knees down, just like that. So perfectly acceptable as well. So I hope that through this tutorial that you'll be able to get a good visual of some of the modifications that are available. So there's no need to worry in case you feel like, oh, I'm not sure if I have the strength. That's the beauty about yoga, is that we can start at whatever level that you're at and just gradually bring ourselves into building onto that strength each time we get into the practice. That's why we call it a practice. We come and we build that strength each time that we come, and that mindset that yes, I can, not I can't. We think as you're in your pose, you think I can and you will. So I just want to encourage you, you can feel free to try these at home or pop in and try beginner's yoga with me with some of those modifications. And I'll see you on the mat.